identification.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, there we go. Forgot I had that off. Oh, now I got snowflakes on my face. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, it's chilly. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Oh. Yeah, I'll be happy when it gets over the freezing mark. It's been so dang. It's been under 30 degrees for probably a week now, if not a little bit more. We're supposed to be going up tomorrow, though, so we'll have to see. Even though today they said it was supposed to get to 32, but it only got to 29.
Wow.
I don't think it would be so bad. It's just that wind just makes it even worse. Oh. Yeah, that was weird that your it didn't say anything when you came up, Eric. Usually, because when what come up, it says what life is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because there's a little voice thing that says when somebody's backstage.
Okay. It's that conspiracy stuff that's going on with the tube and me.
The tube and you.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to go over because I always I try to remember everything in the video because I never write a script or anything like that. But my prepping library challenge is open to anybody. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be challenged or anything. If you want to do a video, you can do the video, and just challenge whoever you want.
Okay.
I forgot to put that tidbit in the video, but
well, I challenged TH2. I don't know what I'm going to challenge him to, but I'm just putting it out there.
I imagine he has some good corn cookbooks.
Yeah.
You know that on Forrest Gump where Forrest Gump and Bubba are on the bus and they're talking, and he's talking about all the ways to
different fried shrimp and
I can just see TH2. It's fried corn,
right?
Boiled corn. Corn this and corn chowder.
corn pone. Even Grace has got the corn symbols up. Oh, his ears are ringing tonight. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like some of these books could just be, coloring books for grandkids or kids. I mean, if your power goes out, imagine that, your kid's driving you nuts. Here, coloring book.
Right.
Hey, Donna. Good to see you. Freeze dried corn. Yeah. That should be my next challenge. The TH2 corn challenge.
There you go.
How many ways can you corn?
Right. We'll have to get an improv song for that one too. I actually love corn on the cob. I mean, I could eat that every day.
Yeah. And there's a difference. I know it's Ohio, but I figure like how can you mess up street corn, or I should say Mexican street corn?
Right.
Um, but they do, and it's like they mess up Mexican food. We have Mexican food restaurants here in the town that Mexicans are working, but they don't do authentic Mexican food.
Right. It's been
I
American.
don't understand it. I'm like I'm from I lived in Phoenix for quite a bit, and I've had a Mexican girlfriend, and I know authentic Mexican food, but it's you just can't get it. Even chorizo. There's places around here that make their own chorizo that you can buy and then take it home and fry it up and whatnot.
Right.
It's not even close. It's just like somebody just dumped some chili powder in it and that was it.
I I don't even think it has to do with the geographic location of the restaurant, versus the border or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
I just think things get watered down and changed over time, and one store owner says, "Well, I'm going to add a little bit of this time," and it
Yeah,
just goes astray. You know.
yeah. I miss the days when I used to before I left to work. There was a lady that would sell tamales. Best tamales I ever had. Um, and they were like two for $1 at the time. This was a while ago. um, and I would buy it and give her a couple extra dollars every time. And best best tamales. It was the pork ones.
Hmm.
She had chicken and pork, but I love the pork. I mean that stuff was just oh. And I go to places and I'll get a tamale and it's like oh,
Yeah, I mean, once you taste the best, it's kind of
yeah.
my niece. She used to date um, the gentleman that worked at an Air Force base, and he was, I guess, his mom and dad were from Mexico, and I forget how long ago they immigrated, and we'd go over there, and she'd make these empanadas.
Hmm.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, those are good
They
too.
had to throw me out of the house. The food was, I mean, it's Mexican food. If it's done the right way, forget it.
Yeah, I lived with a Mexican family, and they were illegals, but they it wasn't every one of them worked. Um, they didn't break the law. They made their kids go to school and the whole 9 yards. Um, and I stayed with them for I think a year and a half.
Yeah.
Didn't know half of what they were saying. I had anytime they were talk to me, my best friend, their son would interpret for me.
Right.
But I started picking up on things. But oh, when you first get into authentic Mexican food, um, you got to warm up to it. Uh, I they had different sauces, and one sauce was hot, and one sauce was um, really hot, and they were kind of color coded,
Yeah.
and that none of them were um, ones that didn't to make your mouth on fire, but you got used to it after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and I was sitting there looking at something, and I was telling what about it that something that happened to. It's supposed to sometime. Oh, yesterday actually it happened. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna try to. You have to kind of read between the lines.
Right.
This was in a Christian school, so it's not in the news, of course. Um, a a bad person went in, bang bang, and he ended up taking his own life. Um, but I searched, and the only place I can find the news on this is Christian uh, news sources. Why isn't it all over the mainstream media? Because it's the thing. And the only thing I can think of is because it happened at a Christian school.
Probably.
And and again, it was in California, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it either. But um, I'll go ahead and drop a link in case anybody wants to read about it because we can't talk about it too much. But there's a link if anybody wants to check it out. And I thought it was very interesting that where's this headline? You would think it would be all over the place, but unfortunately, no. Hey, Lori's World.
Oh, hey, Lori. I didn't see her coming. You got a lot of guys and gals in Vester,
Yep,
Lion,
Vester. Um,
Ocean.
I I have I was following this one van life girl. She's in the mid Canada area, I guess I don't
Mhm.
know what Canadians call the mid part, but
Cold.
well, yeah, that's the thing. Um, and she was making breakfast,
Yeah.
and she goes grab her eggs. Her eggs are frozen. She said, "I've never peeled a frozen egg."
Is that the one that has a little dog with her, or a medium-sized dog with her?
Medium sized dog, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And she said that she ended up selling her snowboard and her boots to get extra money to go to uh, Vancouver Island. She said because it's just too cold. Hey, Vester. Oh yeah, good tamales. Nothing better. It's them tamales when you bite into them and it's like all the moisture evaporates from your mouth because they're so dry.
Kind of like a Chevy Chase chicken or turkey on Christmas holiday.
Oh yeah, and the other I don't even know if I can try to figure out how to get this one out. Um, this one's not too bad. Um, we have senators are pushing to pass a social media to protect children.
Yeah.
We're one of the last countries that is doing this. Even Australia, Netherlands made it even more. It used to be when they turned 16, they could start doing social media. They knocked it down to 13, um, or the other way around. It used to be 13. Now they made it to 16. they can start doing social media after they turn 16. Here, they're wanting to do it, which I really don't think it'll go because it's just there's too much money involved in it.
Right.
But it's I don't know. It would be a good thing. Look at the kids from the '90s to the kids now. The difference. Look at just um, the schools. How much we went downhill with the schools and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so much um like
Yeah. Good point, Caleb.
um we'll put it the bullying, and the one being bullied does something bad to themselves or others because of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a whole new thing that we didn't have in the 80s or 90s.
No, you never heard about all of that.
Nuh-uh. And yeah, I don't even like talking about this, but and this is in Ohio, unfortunately. Um, Satanic Temple, Satanic Temple, offering religious classes to Ohio elementary children.
Oh boy.
And I'm not even. I mean, there's voice recordings and stuff that I had to turn that stuff off because it's just creepy as all get out.
Yep.
But that's what that freedom of religion thing is.
Yeah. Freedom of speech.
Yeah, you. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
it's like you don't want to support it, but you want to support the freedom of religion. You just don't want to support that thing of it.
yeah.
And I guess that's how you got to kind of look at it.
There'll always be evil.
Oh
There
yeah,
always.
yep.
Unfortunately.
And that's what they said. You can't have good without evil, and that is true when you're here.
Right.
Eventually, good's going to overcome,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to be on the losing side.
No.
Um, yeah, poor Watt was complaining about it being cold down there in Georgia.
Yeah, I
Really?
don't appreciate it.
I think next week I'm probably going to hit 76, which is nice.
What are you reaching?
76 or
Oh,
75 degrees.
that's just horrible. Uh, that sounds good though. Yeah, I was talking to a guy earlier, and he says he doesn't like the cold and he doesn't like the heat. and he says he can't find a good place to live.
There is no such place.
And he says because his wife is Filipino, so he goes over there, and he says he just dies, and his wife tells him just stay in the house, stay in the house. He says I can't wait to come back, and then I freeze to death here.
Right. Yeah, and then when it is cold here, it's a damp cold. A wet, damp cold, and that goes right through your bones.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I don't think it would be that bad. I mean, 20s is not that bad. It's it's when you get that wind blowing. And the
Mm-hmm.
other night we had gusts so strong that we got more damage from the gust
Mm-hmm.
than we did when a tornado came through.
Yeah. Summertime, they come off the Gulf here. It's like a mini microburst,
Yeah,
and and not a water spout. It's just a thunderstorm that's real bad, and it'll take trees down.
yeah. There was branches. Mostly everybody lost power. I was fine up here. I didn't lose power, but a lot of people lost all their power and stuff. And um, yeah, 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Oh,
really, Lori. I didn't know. Well,
oh,
actually,
wait a minute.
the north
Wait,
does get hot.
which 90 degrees are we talking about?
Celsius or
Yeah.
Fahrenheit?
Uh,
Celsius.
90
Yeah.
Celsius
No,
is like 60, isn't it? For us,
no,
63.
Fahrenheit. She says.
Oh, she did say Fahrenheit.
Well,
Okay.
she put an F. I'm assuming that's Fahrenheit.
It's wet, cold. Okay. Yeah, I remember
Yeah, I don't
I
like that.
lived in, well, it wasn't living there too long, but um, Seattle, Washington. And I got to where I didn't wear socks anymore because it was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because your feet are soaking wet all the
Yep.
time, and I had little, when you sit in the tub too long or something, your feet get all pruned and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was all the time. I was like, oh, I just want dry feet.
Well, that's like living up north when I did. But at the end of the day, you take your steel toe boots off and your feet are all pruned up, from the winter. And
Oh, that's one thing I hated. Steel toe boots in the winter.
I had to have them though.
Oh, I hated wearing them, but
Yeah.
you have to.
Well, your
I,
toes, your toes are kind of like frozen in one position because the
all
tip
the time.
shoe doesn't bend much. You know.
Yeah, and you, where I, fi- I figured out how they did it for so long. They got an extra size boot, and they wore wool socks, like
Right.
two pairs of wool socks.
Hmm. I found a product years ago. Now you're talking years ago. I don't even know if it exists anymore. It's called Thinsulate. Thinsulate, and it
Insulate.
was it was like really micro thin, a real fine, uh, for lack of a better word, underwear. Pants, shirt,
Yeah.
and that's all you'd need. Just that one single layer, and it was really really good stuff. I mean, for hunting or working in the shop, and I don't know what they use now, but that's what I dealt with. And
Well,
good.
I had a company send me these little insoles that go in your shoes, and then you had the wire that goes up, and you put the little battery pack in your pocket. Um, I mean, it felt good if you were just sitting still somewhere, but if you had to do anything, it was a pain because you had this wire
Mm-hmm.
and just bending and moving, it would get caught on stuff, and I was like, oh no. Um, and then there's a vest, and then you kept the battery pack inside the pocket,
Yeah.
and that was pretty good. Only thing that when that thing heated up, it heated up, and it's like
Yeah.
it was almost too hot.
I was never into being hooked up to electric like that. I just,
Especially the the foot one was lithium,
right.
and yeah, putting a lithium battery in your pocket's not the ideal thing.
No, putting it anywhere isn't there. Even in a boat.
Yeah, that's ours is I think our wind chill. Yeah, our wind chill's only 14, so that's not that bad. um, I think it was yesterday the wind chill was -4
Wow.
because it was really blowing, and it only got up to I think 17 yesterday. But I I complain about the cold, but we really need that. We need like I said, at least a week below temperature, below freezing. That way, it kills things off. I just I just wasn't ready for winter this year. I it just like boom.
It showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you get that little gradual, and you get a cold day and it wakes you up, and then you get a week of good weather and you go do stuff, put
Right.
plastic up and this and that. And it's like, nope. So I have to wait until Sunday to fix a window and stuff so I can caulk the windows because I can't do it when it's cold. It feels like 25. Yeah, our wind is only 8 miles an hour right now. Let's see what else was there. Um, the Daniel Penny guy, I guess.
Yeah.
The judge dismissed his manslaughter charge.
Yeah. I
I
was
guess.
talking to my brother about that. He does. It's kind of weird because everything should have been dropped then because that was the most serious charge.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They're still going to deliberate, even though what are they deliberating now?
they're wanting to find lesser charges than the manslaughter. I'm like,
I don't think they're
what would the charge be?
right. Exactly.
If you make it lesser, what would it be in the first place? I don't know.
Yeah. Between that and what is it? The United
Sound.
Healthcare CEO. That little incident. Oh, kitty.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Is resigning. Adam Schiffler.
Well, that's because he's a senator now out of California.
Yeah.
You know what bugs me is that he didn't have the cojones to get up in that chamber and make that statement himself. He had to let somebody else do it for him.
Yeah.
That shows you the character or lack thereof.
Oh, and um, the one bacon, lettuce, and mustard group. Uh, Boston City Council member arrested for corruption.
They,
she
they,
was
they
she
got
was an actual member of that group,
yeah.
or one of the higher ups, I guess you would call it, and being on the Boston City Council, which is
They just popped a judge too.
in Georgia.
I know, somewhere in the Northeast. It came over a feed on my phone.
Sorry, what?
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was one down in Georgia that just got in trouble. Well, remember we talked about that one that was out at the nightclubs and stuff and got arrested and stuff and thought, well, I'm Miss Big Shot, I can do whatever I want, and didn't turn out too well.
No, them Texans just coming to Georgia tomorrow, they're gonna be in trouble. They'll be in a lot of trouble when they run into them Bulldogs.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
You know, they really disrespected us last time, but now we're on our own home turf.
Uh-oh.
I hope there's not going to be another brawl like last week. Or the week before.
Yeah, I am wearing Ohio State because it's just a red shirt, but
It's close enough to Bulldog red.
That's the thing about Ohio. That's the number one gift. Everybody gives somebody a Ohio Buckeyes sweatshirt for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I don't like them, but okay.
It's the first time in a long time that a Michigan or Ohio isn't playing in a championship game.
Yeah. I heard a lot of talking about that. There's still people thinking Ohio should be in it too. And they said, well, Notre Dame shouldn't be in it. And I'm like, what?
That whole system needs to be revamped. How their rating,
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. You go by just like the pros. You should go by their record, wins and losses, not in front of some committee that says, okay, well, we really think that you're number one because you've got X, Y, and Z. But the other team's got 3 more wins than you do, but you're still going to be number one in our opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, a lesser school, a nobody school goes and beats a big. That really didn't matter.
Well, last week they did. That's why there was a fight.
Well, the fight was because the flagpole. But that's happened before. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but it wasn't Michigan either.
Right.
Who was it? What, Baker Mayfield did it too, I
He's
believe.
the one that started all of that back in his college days.
Yeah. And it wasn't a big deal. But
right.
Michigan is another story. In Ohio, that is.
Right.
That's the rival. You don't mess with that.
Well, we better not be planting any flags for the Bucks. Stitching your nut.
Also, I think, let me find it. Oh, here it is right here. I'll be probably next week. I'll be giving away a few of these. Members again will get an extra drawing, so they get double chances to win. And this is my, and I'm thinking somebody told me I should sell these, but oh, that smells so good. It's got fat wood in there, so it's really easy to start a fire. And the sawdust. When I cut all these up, I kept all the sawdust too. And I've got twine in there for jute.
Neat.
That's waxed down a little bit. I've got a ferrocene rod and a striker in there. And it's in a tin box, which is good for making char cloth or charcoal, depending on your purpose. Oops, I forgot to put this back in there. And I'll be giving those away probably next week. I don't know if it'll be Monday or Friday. We'll see.
See, I mentioned Texas, and now somebody from Texas is here. See how that works? Go Dogs.
Wait till tomorrow.
Go Dogs. That's not entirely true, Grace. Their deer are small. They're like little puppy dogs. I was watching somebody, and they were talking about this big old buck that they got, and I'm like, our bucks up here in Ohio, you need two people to put them in the back of the truck. He got the little bitty thing like this, that's little toothpick legs and stuff. I'm like, you'd be lucky to get 10 pounds of meat off that thing. Yeah, I was like, oh man. But yeah, white-tailed deer up here are a lot bigger. Yeah, I thought, and I didn't know there was a thing called an elk in the first place, but I thought, dang, they got some huge deer in Montana. I was like, that thing is huge. That's an elk. What's an elk? It's a big deer. Yeah, I thought that. And then
What did you do about a moose?
Yeah, I was going to say. Then I seen a moose in person. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, and they can get nasty too.
Oh yeah, more people die from a moose than bears. Well, in Alaska, I don't know about anywhere else. And I've said this before about any predator type. The thing that scares me the most it's not a bear or a grizzly or anything. It's a wolf. And it's usually because there's not just one wolf.
No. Well, that's kind of tie for me, the wolf pack, but a grizzly bear, but a sow with her cubs.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to get anywhere near that thing.
Yeah. Well, even a deer, a doe, protecting her baby.
Yeah.
Oh, she kicked the heck out of you. Yeah.
Those front legs stomp on you.
Yeah. They do that like this, and they dig those hoofs into you. I seen somebody get a really nice gash on their side because they thought their deer was not with us anymore. He gets up there and starts to flip it over and everything to field dress it, and
he was going to field dress it.
Cha-choom.
Wow. Yeah, you're kind of supposed to like nudge it with the barrel of your gun or rifle or
yeah, because their breathing can slow so down so much because you'll sit there and look at them, and that just a little twinge will mean they're still breathing.
Hmm. Yeah, Sandy M. That happened to me too. I totaled a car
Yeah.
on a 4-pointer, or I should say, he totaled the car. I didn't.
He had nothing to do with it.
No.
Yeah, the deer versus car, you would think it would be no match, but yeah, I've seen some bad accidents with deer.
Yep. That's actually one of two incidences. The other one was that I just got I had a Olds Cutlass, and I just got it out of the paint shop that day.
Oh,
I didn't
that
even have
sucks.
I didn't even have the wheel well trim on it. You know, the chrome trim,
Yeah.
and a doe came. Well, some does ran in front of me. This is when I was in Jersey. So I slowed way down and waiting for the rest of them. And it seemed all clear. So I was probably only going about 20 miles an hour, starting to accelerate. And another one came out and it ran into my left rear quarter panel, which is right behind me, the driver's door. And she bounced up and went over the deck lid and down into the woods. And the only damage to the car, well, there wasn't any damage, just a bunch of deer hair in the wheel well, because there wasn't a body molding on it. So the metal caught some of the hair. So, yeah, Jersey's is famous, Grace. There's more deer per square mile in New Jersey than any other state.
Oh, you got a little state too. Well, parts
And a
of it.
lot of people. A little state and a lot of people.
Yep, that's true.
I don't going hunting no more.
Are you?
Oh yeah, I'm going longhorn hunting.
Yeah.
The elusive 2-pointer.
The 2-pointer.
Man,
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my favorite parts on Sopranos is when they got out in the woods,
Oh, yeah.
falling down.
But are you talking about when they were taking that guy from Russia for a little ride?
Yeah, we're gonna die out here.
That was Paulie and Chrissy. I missed that show.
Yeah, I hated how that ended, but yeah, I pretty much can't go anywhere from there unless they have the kids take it over.
Yeah.
Because what's his name passed.
Yeah, and if you remember the the closing scene from that series, what was playing? Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had all these strange people walking in the diner, and you didn't know if they were
Yeah.
nefarious or what was going to. So it was well done. It was, but
Oh yeah. I just didn't like it. I was like, "Oh, you leaving it there?" Oh, but that's what it was. That's what it was all about, though. It was, yeah, that made the series, though.
hey, Lake.
Ooh, wow. Oops. Split the deer in two.
Mm.
Wow.
Power pole and the fence. Ooh. Yeah, that do a lot of damage. That's for sure. But They sure do taste good.
Yes.
Oh,
Venison.
yeah. I would probably go hunting, but I don't like going on public land. I'm just,
There's too many.
I don't trust people.
No. Well, they're
Hey, Lake.
what do you want to call it, misinformed. They're not. They're not safe.
Well, kids have to take classes. I think
Oh yeah.
the adults should too.
Yep. I did.
I mean, I don't mind. I like, it's been a long time since, and I didn't take no class. I just got my license, but um, I would go just to learn
Right.
if there was something new to learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
just like when I went down there for my boat and stuff. Um, they ask you questions. Do you have this on it? Do you have that on it? And I was asking questions. What's the difference and everything? And if you don't answer correctly, and you have that little slip of paper, and you're out there, say, I just say I have a kayak, and then I go out there and I have a trolling motor on there, I can get serious trouble
Right.
because I said that it wasn't powered. And at the time it could be, but if you do get an upgrade, something like that, you have to tell them that stuff. A huge
Yeah, that's something.
cameras, and he couldn't see far on the road. Oh, it was probably a Bigfoot. A deer was in the garden. Bigfoot ran out there and shoot him down the road.
It got away through a portal.
Oh,
I'll be right back. Jack's looking at me. He needs to go out.
uh-oh.
Right, Jack?
Yeah, I still have to figure out why the app thing doesn't work. There is a bot, though, I can put on here, but I wouldn't want to do that. Oops. I just got rid of the chat. There we go. Oh. But I'm happy Sunday it's going to be warmer, I should say. Supposed to be 49. And then we get 2 days of rain and then snow. So Wednesday of next week, we're supposed to get a whopping batch of snow. Which it's hard to say with the weather people because it's the weather people.
Yeah, I think we got about at least 3 days next week. They're calling for rain.
Well, hopefully it doesn't. It's warm enough to you don't get.
If it gets cold enough and does, trust me, we'll make national news. Today in news, local Augusta man.
frozen to the telephone pole.
Yeah. Man in Georgia gets frozen while walking to the Family Dollar. More at 6.
No, I won't be outside mess with no snow. I don't even shovel. I just wait until it warms up in a week and then it melts away. My mailman has some big old snow boots on, so it doesn't bother him. Well, see, there's a story behind that. I have a sidewalk. It's made out of brick. And I had somebody come from the county something other or city county or something like that saying that I have to put a sidewalk in. And I said, I have a sidewalk and we're not allowed to have bricks because people trip over them. I said, my sidewalk is flat. There's no bricks sticking up. And they said, well, trees will push up the bricks and it'll make it to where people trip. And I said, there's no trees. There's no roots to push up the bricks. So that won't be a thing. And he said, well, you'll have to replace that with concrete and or cement, sidewalk. And I said, no. I said, what I'll do, I'll just said I won't clean off that sidewalk and let the grass grow back in between it, and you won't see the brick anymore. So I have a nice flat grass lawn. And I haven't heard anything after that. So that's why I don't like living in city or the HOAs and stuff like that.
It's like with everything they could complain about, that's the thing that they pick on.
Yeah, and every little thing he would tell me, I disputed because well, I could see, you go down the road and you see these big, cement slabs, and there's a tree growing next to it and it pops it up.
Yeah.
But that's okay because it's a cement.
Oh yeah,
sidewalk, and I'm like,
cement. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. So I said, well, and they came back and checked on it, and all the grass had grown up through because you have, being brick, you have to keep scraping it off, which all I used to do was with the weed eater and go through. But now I just let it grow and I just mow over it like it was the rest of the yard. Just because they wanted me to go get permits and get somebody to put a sidewalk in and stuff. I'm like, I ain't got that money for that.
When I first moved down here, they wanted, the red tape is incredible. Not anymore, but you had grass growing in the street, their street, not my street. I mean,
yeah. And that's the thing. Our road, the road out in front of where our street is, it's brick.
Yeah, mine too. Is it August brick?
Huh?
August brick?
I don't, just, regular brick.
No, I'm saying there's a brand. You know what I'm talking about, Watt?
What's that now?
The brick. Is it Augusta or is it August brick? I
got a bunch of Augusta bricks.
Yeah, Augusta. It's
these were actually made here in Coshocton. They actually have the I mean, they used to be all over Ohio, but which I could probably go out there and dig some of these up and it'd probably would be worth something.
Well,
so I got a collection of different bricks I've just found and from different cities, a bunch of Augusta ones, stuff like that.
Neat.
I'm weird like that.
Because when they take up a brick, because not only the streets but the sidewalks were brick too. And when they take the brick up in the sidewalk for doing something, the city would just put forms down and just pour concrete. And the bricks were free and they didn't last long. People would come and grab them and make patios out of them and just,
Yeah, I think this was 4 or 5 years ago. It was like $7-8 grand and we're in the northeast. So you know how these houses are crammed up next to each other. So my lot is 50 feet. So that would have been a 50-foot sidewalk, which is not, it's not that big. 50 feet is not that big. And if they did that, they would probably make me put in a driveway too. But I'm like, no, I'll just let the grass grow.
We still got some streets and some alleyways that are the old cobblestone or entirely brick. There's even one neighborhood. It's the whole neighborhood is a historic neighborhood. It's called Somerville. That entire street, every street through there is just still brick. And you ride across it, it sounds like a horse and buggy.
Yeah. This has been about a year and a half ago. One lady that lives in a Honda Element, and she travels around and stuff, and she was showing some of the old streets with them big old trees that down south where they
the oaks, the live oaks.
Yeah.
I love that. I love riding down streets like that.
And they had the old cobblestone roads going through there, and that camera is just shaking like crazy.
Yeah.
But she used to. I haven't seen her videos too much anymore, but she used to do like she would show and do history of places where she was looking at and stuff like that. But we have certain areas that have the brick roads. There's a section downtown to where there's the big old the rich people houses.
Yeah.
Well, would have been the rich people houses back in the day, the big mansion looking things, but now they're just duplexes and stuff. And there's the big old one street just full of bricks. And they used to have a lot of big trees, and then he started cutting these trees down because I still don't understand the purpose of cutting all the trees down. I can understand if the tree is dead or, something like that. But you start taking all the trees down in a city, and then all of a sudden you start getting all this wind damage because you don't have nothing to, break the wind.
Yeah.
But my son got married in one of the houses. It's you can rent it out for different events and stuff. And we were there setting it up, and this lady was telling me that it's getting dark and she doesn't want to be there for us to hurry up and stuff. And I'm like, why? Do you not have power here or something? And no, we have power. She just, I won't be in this house when it gets dark. And you know me, why? And evidently it was haunted. And I said, oh, really? Can we stay here overnight? No. But yeah, they said I could, but I'd have to rent the house for 24 hours. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
My youngest sister, she's getting married next year, and I forget she's told me the location several times, but it's one of the old plantation houses around here in the area, and that's pretty much all they do is just rent it out for weddings or events and stuff like that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of property.
Oh yeah, some of them places down south. Oh man, those are really nice. the ones that people don't modernize too much.
Yeah,
I don't mind, putting nicer countertops in there or something, but when they start gutting them out and they put them beams in there to where they open the whole floor plan and stuff, it just ruins them. I like the old moldings and stuff.
oh yeah, all that intricate woodwork and stuff.
Yeah, and all that stuff was hand done. They didn't have machines to do that stuff.
No, they wouldn't go into the Home Depot and get no trim.
Yeah, some of those places just to go through and look. And that's the thing. You'll see people going in and looking at all the furniture and stuff, and I'm be looking at the ceiling tiles.
Yeah,
They don't have that stuff up here. It's just flat stuff, and down there you get them big copper ceiling tiles that they used to install.
that and the architecture of the old churches, all the detail and stuff that went
Oh,
into it. Like the stained glass and even the trim and stuff on it, stonework. Man, it's just so fascinating.
mhm. Yeah, I would rather look at some of that stuff than the furniture and stuff. I mean, the furniture and stuff's nice, but I just like the doors and the molding around the doors and things like that.
Been watching the videos on them renovating Notre Dame. After they had that fire a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and oh man, dude, it's it's amazing how they can do that type of stuff and still able to do it.
yeah. Well, um, nowadays you can just they take a picture, do a 3D print of a molding or something, and then they can just have somebody you know put it through a machine and it comes out just like it was back in them days. But
Yep.
they make it uh, almost perfect, and that's the thing is when somebody does that. Back then they did it by hand. They hand carved that stuff and chiseled it and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's amazing that they were able to do that with the tools that they had. If
Mhm.
the stories that they tell us are true, considering the day where we have more tools than ever, but do the people have the knowledge to do it? Not so much.
Yeah, I used to like watching. Was it Bob Vila?
Yeah, Bob
Yeah,
Vila. Yeah.
this old house.
This, yeah,
Yeah.
and they would have a specialist come in, and the corners of the moldings that of the door frames and stuff
Mhm.
that was carved, and they said there's no machine that can do that. You actually have to have somebody that has knowledge to carve that like that, and it that to be able to cut that little corner piece out, it costs more than the whole door and the door frame put together.
Yeah.
Man, that's something else. Something so simple but so complex, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, and they did that by hand with a little chisel or
Mhm.
whatever they used back then.
Well, all those houses were built on site. Now everything's
Yeah,
brought to the site and they put everything together. So this old time craftsmanship is kind of lost.
yeah. And when this company came in here to winterize my house, we had windows that were busted upstairs, and some of the frames were messed up. This is old over 100-year-old house, um, and they tried to they tried to make it out of table saw and miter saw and or rotor and stuff like that, and it was awful. I'm still looking. I'm still every time there's a yard sale or stuff, I still look for the parts so I can rebuild those windows because yeah, they did an awful job. It's either that or put new windows in there. I would rather have the same type of windows because they're really old windows. They have such ton more detail. You go get the little plastic windows now, the double pane or triple pane or whatever it is now. They're just flat piece
Right.
of
Yeah.
plastic. These are all carved and they have engravings in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That you just can't buy that stuff.
Yeah.
How was my cat? I actually made that cabbage soup like 3 weeks before the video came out. I had the cabbage and I was like, I'll just make the soup now and just I'll do the video up and then I'll schedule it for the 24th.
So what you're saying is the soup was already consumed when you put the video out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking for a friend.
That's about time for another cabbage soup though.
There you go. Or stuffed cabbages,
Oh yeah.
with ground beef and pork.
Yeah. That ain't a bad idea. Or instead of just the broth, I'd make it out of tomato. A
I don't know
tomato.
why I brought that up. Now I'm getting hungry.
It never fails.
No, it doesn't. No matter
We
what.
made an hour and 8 minutes. And
Yep.
You ruined it. Grace, way to go, Grace.
Thanks a lot. Good thing I ain't seen this coming.
Wonderful New York City hot dogs sitting in that lukewarm water for 20 days. They're the best hot dogs ever.
Fermented hot dogs.
I went and seen Cubs play at Wrigley, and you could smell the ferment, and it was because of the beer, because they actually put beer in the water.
Right.
But that hot dog was good though.
All right.
I didn't trust the dude carrying it around because he looked like he's about ready to flop over and stuff. So I went and got my own at the stand.
I'm laughing at Harvest Mary with the cabbage. It reminds me, my brother and well, she's no longer my sister-in-law.
Shepherd pie sounds good too.
They went on a diet and it consisted of cabbage. This was years ago. It was called the cabbage diet. I didn't partake in any of that. I'm telling you, you walked in the front door of that house. Oh man. That was like a rest stop on I-95. Wow. I think it lasted maybe 2 weeks and they quit.
That's all they could stand. Well, when things were not the way they are now, I would do the carnivore diet, just eat meat.
Right.
But it's too expensive now.
Well, there's always that fake meat, but that's nasty.
Well, that's not a carnivore diet then.
Right.
That's
too
many carbs in that.
Mystery meat souffle.
I could like fried cabbage. Oh, I could eat that up. Fry up some bacon and then
Oh yeah.
use that grease to fry up the cabbage. Ooh, good
Blake,
stuff.
oh boy.
It smells like Danny's farts.
How did we go from food to farts?
Collard greens, they're like that. They're like that too when you're cooking them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you need a big ham hock in that, in the whatchamacallit, the pot.
Well, if you're talking about frying, because you can smell it when you collards when you're frying them up.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's funky, but I like it. I like it though. I guess I don't know. I always grew up with them being cooked, so I guess I got used to it.
Yeah.
So just get home from school and walk in the door. Yep, Mama's cooking collards for dinner.
That's like chitlins.
Oof,
I've
man.
seen people. Oh, I'm not going home. I'm not going home. You're cooking that this week. uh,
I've had them every kind of way, but I've never really been a fan of them.
I I had them the deep fried ones, and that was. And I know the person cleaned them because they cleaned them for like 3 days beforehand, and evidently it takes 3 days. If not, then you smell it.
Oh yeah. If I had to pick, I don't like them either way, but they're more tolerable fried than stewed or boiled
Yeah.
for sure.
Now we're,
Conks.
now we're talking about smelly vegetables. Yeah, conch.
Yeah.
That's a mollusk. Very good though.
Oh, what was it talking about? Conch fritters
Mm-hmm.
down at Key West.
Yep. We've got a Conch Republic
Those are good.
restaurant. Excellent.
I still have to go through this. I want to figure out what I can put these pages in or something. Got this old, and believe it or not, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Not really.
It says Grace Cookbook.
Oh.
I got Grace's cookbook, but this is a really old cookbook, and you can see the pages are coming out. I want to try to, because it's got one of these binder things on the end. I don't want to have to go through and poke holes and then find a binder for it, but I would like to, fix it. But there is some good stuff in here. They got appetizers, desserts, cakes, and a lot of it. The illustration is what somebody drew.
Oh yeah.
So and it looks like it's just been typed out on an old typewriter. But these are really old um, recipes in this thing. And what's this say? Well, I have no idea what this is. Huh. Oh, it shows you how to make invisible ink. Huh. Yeah, here's another picture. I think it's two kids dressed up though, or they're wearing really baggy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what this is. That's weird. Oh, I guess it's show. This is weird for a cookbook. Showing you how to make shadow figures on the wall.
Huh.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's got Bible verses in it. Corinthians 10:31. But I don't see no date on it. I wonder if it doesn't look like it's like a homemade thing, but it's got weird things in it too. But I seen this and I was like, for $1 I can't, might find a good recipe in there, that which I did. There's a lot of different recipes in this thing. But would love to see a date in this thing.
Usually when it's got that type of print and it's a little spiral one like that, it's usually a good one.
Yeah.
Usually find some good recipes in them.
And there's a lot of different, like the bread recipes. It's not like buy a can of this and put a can of that in there. It's all ingredients. Sifted flour and butterscotch bark cake. Cherry nut cake. Carrot cake. Chocolate chip cake. I can't see that once it's faded off. Coconut mist cake. Date cake. Hickory nut cake. Ginger cake. Yeah, they got tons of different cakes and stuff. Cookies. Butterscotch brownies. It's one of those projects I'll have to play around with. Hey there, B. But yeah, I've got this. Well, Eric might know. You know who Gentleman Jim was?
Gentleman Jim.
Or Gentleman Jack.
He's a boxer, and he actually wrote a book. And I have his first book he wrote about boxing.
Was he English?
Not entirely sure. But that's when they didn't fight for a year or anything like that, or by round, or like 3-minute round or something like that. I forget how long, and they fought bare knuckle
Yeah.
back then.
Was there even rounds back then? I don't even know if there was.
Well, it wasn't like the rounds now. I forget how they did it. I'll have to look at because I haven't looked in that for a good long while. It was, but I've got his book,
Right.
um, and I've got it covered in plastic and everything for the kids one day. Hopefully, it'd be worth something for them to sell off and buy a house or something. But I came across it in a bunch of books. Somebody was selling at a yard sale, and I'm like, Gentleman Jim, I remember hearing about this guy, and I just quarter for the book, and it was in he was like a boxer in the 1800s or something like that.
1866 he was born.
Yeah.
Races got down.
Hey, Joe Carroll.
20 fights. Well, that's a lot of fights for a bare knuckle. Hey, Rose. Oh, wow. I haven't seen you in a long time, Rose.
I think that's the same guy that ended up going into him and one of his rivals. They ended up having wasn't it like a 2-day fight?
I think
What?
is it like 89 or 99 rounds, and
Can't
it's not
remember.
like I said, it's not the rounds like what we have today.
Oh no, they
Hey,
weren't very.
Rose.
They weren't very long. And it was a different style. It was more of a
It was fisticuffs.
fisticuff style of boxing. Wasn't no haymakers or any hooks and stuff like that. It was just kind of
You put your face out here, and I'll put mine out here.
yeah, a punch for a punch. Whoever goes down first.
That's like the new, what do they call that? The slapping league?
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
That's kind of, wow.
Yeah, I'd get smacked, and I would, oh,
Yeah.
boom, a switch would go off, and I wouldn't smack.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be across the table, I know.
Oh,
But those guys are making money.
yeah. Well, the women too.
Yeah, they can get nasty.
Yeah.
Snappers. Wow.
Dang it, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember her name now. She used to be in MMA.
Ronda Rousey.
No.
The woman from Star Wars?
No. I have her on my TikTok. She went bare knuckle too.
Oh, you're talking about Paige.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah. She's tough though.
Yeah, I know.
And she did the slap thing too and won that.
Oh, she won it? Really?
Yeah. She went and did the bare knuckle thing, and then she found out that she makes more money on OF than beating people up.
Yeah, that's right. It's crazy.
What's funny is when you got the big dudes up there with the slapping, and the one guy will take a shot, and the guy that gets hit, he's thinking about it whether or not he's going to go over it. And, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah.
You know who was a tough fighter? Y'all remember Don Fry?
Oh yeah,
Don Fry, man, that joker was tough.
yeah.
I mean, he went up against. That was back when they had the Pride Fighting League, and there was pretty much no rules in that. I mean, you had guys, I mean, that would juice, and he's going up against. There
Him
wasn't
and
no one
him and
fight
Ken
every 8
Shamrock,
months. You might have 8 fights in one night to get the title
right?
back to back.
Him and Ken Shamrock had a horrible fight that one night.
Oh yeah, the Shamrock Brothers. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember when he broke it. I think his leg. Ken Shamrock.
I think he did his leg or his ankle. Yeah,
Yeah, on an Asian guy. The Asian guy went into making movies. I forget what his name was. It wasn't the popular MMA. It was the Showtime version of it. Whatever
Yeah.
that was, I forget what it was.
There's been so many leagues that have popped up out of all of that.
Oh yeah, and it seems like when they start to lose and they start losing their step and stuff, they go into acting.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Action stars all of a sudden.
You've got what? You've got Dwayne Johnson,
Yeah.
Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan. He went into acting just because he was getting too old. He couldn't take he's probably made more money acting than wrestling. But
He did some weird movies in the '90s though.
he actually had a series that was filmed not too far from me. I forget. It was something Thunder. Hulk Hogan did. And it had the big offshore racing boats
Oh yeah.
out in the Gulf.
Tropical Thunder or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I met him twice. Once in well, I won't get into that, but and then another time we were at his restaurant.
See, I think I seen him once. He was in character though. He was just,
And Randy Macho Man Savage. I'm standing in the line at Publix waiting to check out.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, that was his lady.
Yeah, I met her. I didn't meet him. I met her.
Actually, his last name is Poffo because Leaping Lanny was his brother. So anyway, Randy Savage. So I'm sitting there, and I was a big fan of his at the time.
Ultimate Warrior too.
Yeah. And I turned around and I said to him, Randy, I said, what do you think Vince is going to do about something about selling his shares and whatever. And man, he went right into character. Ooh. Everybody's looking, the cashier's looking at him. I'm like, okay. Even
if you get them when they're
in my basket turned and looked at.
Yeah, if you get them when they're not in character, they're just normal people. And all of a sudden, I got you, brother. Like, oh, what happened?
Vince better make the right move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met Ultimate Warrior. Unfortunately, he was the Ultimate Warrior at the time too. It wasn't.
Yeah,
he
had a very troubled life.
He did his little shaky thing, and
probably the coolest wrestler I ever met in person. I met Goldberg. I still got a picture of him that he autographed.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he was. I met him as a kid. I'm like, holy crap, this dude's bigger than he looks on TV.
Oh yeah.
You see some of them guys in person, they don't look as big, but dude, he was solid.
Well, you're almost 7 feet tall, so.
I know, but still, I was like, I don't know. When I met him, I was like 12 or 13. So I mean, I was big for a 12 or 13-year-old, but I'm thinking, man. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you would think Sylvester Stallone is a big guy.
Oh, he's short.
He's a little bitty guy.
Yeah, he's like what, 5'8", 5'9", something like that.
They make him and Tom Cruise look big on TV.
Yeah. it's sometimes I'll look at somebody and I'm like, wonder how big they are, and then I'll Google. I'm like, oh, he's a little guy.
It's like we was a kid. I forget which. We went on vacation somewhere, and it was the first time I ever went to a Hard Rock Cafe. And this one had like the celebrities' handprints and stuff, and you could go up. I was thinking, hey, my hand's almost as big as some of these people, you know, different celebrities, and some of the people I didn't even know who they were. They were famous for something, you know.
Chinese theater in Hollywood. Sometimes they'll put their hands in there. Mostly it's just their feet.
Yeah.
John Wayne, he had some big feet. Because of course, I wasn't that old, but I put my feet in his in front of the Chinese theater. I think that's what it's called. Hey, Joe. And there's a lot of them that my feet were bigger than theirs. I'm like, oh wow, they're not that big. Elvis had big feet too. His was just as big as John Wayne's. And I always thought, you know, just by movies and stuff, that he was not that big, but he's a pretty good sized guy.
Oh yeah.
That's like John Wayne. If you just look at him in the movies, until he gets on a horse, them horses look real small. With John Wayne, it's like his feet are almost dragging the ground,
Yeah.
and he's on a horse. I'm like, what, did they just give him a little pony or something?
Right? I'll take your horse, Pilgrim.
Yeah, I think it was on Prime. They had a thing about John Wayne and the stuff the kids had to deal with afterwards because of some of the stuff he said in the 60s, 50s and 60s. You know, his interviews about different races and stuff.
Yeah. Anything on videotape will always come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
And that his thing has done so much for cancer treatment and stuff like that over the years. All the money that's generated and stuff.
The Duke.
Yeah.
You know, his first name was Marion?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I tell you, if anyone ever made fun of my name, Marion, I'd punch him right in the kiss out.
You know, he was really good in The Quiet Man. He played the boxer that went to England, Maureen O'Hara, and he had a little homestead out there in England. That was a good movie. The Quiet Man.
Yeah. What was another? There. Some of them old boxing movies were really good. Well, and this is not that old. Well, it is now, but Cinderella Man.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
thought
one.
that was pretty good. A pretty good movie. a washed up boxer, and he had broke his hand, and he started using his other one at the coal mine or something, or steel mill or something. And he started work. His other arm got really strong, and then he went back to boxing, and he knocked the guy out. He wasn't supposed to, and then he ended up becoming champion. I always remember the guy that he fought was a really dirty boxer, gouges and stuff like that. And
Yeah. Another good movie was The Champ with Ricky Schroeder and
oh yeah,
John Voight.
yeah, that was good.
It was a newer movie, but the Tom Hardy movie called The Warrior.
Oh yeah, I love
That's
that.
a good movie.
Really good.
What was the movie with Clint Eastwood and Hilary Swank? What was the name of that one?
Was it Baby? No. $1 Million Baby?
Cinderella Story, or
I think it was $1
million
$1 Million Baby. Yep,
yeah, baby, or something
that
like
was
that.
a good one.
Hilary Swank, yeah.
Yeah. He won.
Yeah, there's been a couple. I always liked them. I used to always watch boxing with my granddad as a kid.
Well, they said Elvis could have been a good boxer from when he did Kid Galahad.
Huh.
Where you at? Hi.
That's why you didn't step on his blue suede shoes.
Excuse
Yeah, at Warrior, I like that. I just watched that not too long ago. Again,
Yeah, that was a good one.
two brothers.
Mm-hmm. Actor Tom Hardy. Most movies I've seen that he's in is usually a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah. When he's, I think it was in Arkansas, maybe. He's a moonshiner.
Oh, you're talking about the one with him and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like he just kind of fell right into that character, like
Oh yeah.
that's really how those people would be in those times.
Yeah.
I think it was called Lawless. That movie was called Lawless.
Oh, the guy did not die.
No, he did not.
Wasn't he also in that that gang series
Um,
in the 20s?
Gang series.
yeah, Peaky
Yeah.
Blinders.
Is that what it was called?
Yep, yeah, that was a pretty good little show. Yeah, he was like the Irish gangster in there, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The liquor guy, the guy that did all the liquor dealings.
Yeah. He was a Road Warrior guy too.
Yep.
I forget which one.
Mad Max, the remake.
Yeah, I like the girl one, the last one. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Charlize
better than I thought it
Theron?
was going to be.
No, not her. This
next one?
latest one, I think, just came out this year.
It's got the guy that plays Thor in it.
Yeah, him in there. I don't know. I think I'm just too used to him being Thor.
Yeah, it kind of looks weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
you still see him. It's like, why is Thor playing this role?
Where's your hammer?
Keep waiting for that hammer to pop out.
Yeah.
He was in Netflix movies. There were two movies he was in it. Part one and a part two, but he was like a Navy SEAL or something like that. Went in and got people out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I
Yeah, that
can't
was a
remember
good
the
one.
name of it now, but he actually played that pretty good. I didn't think of him as Thor in that.
He's got a brother that acts too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Helmsworth brothers.
Yeah. Well, he did play some action movies, but it's usually romance movies with you know.
yeah.
Good night, Lake.
Good night.
Good night, Lake. Yeah, I'm gonna shut her down here, and I didn't even check to see if 101 was going live tonight. So I don't know why I check though.
I thought we were going to have another food conversation.
Well, that's the thing. Our these conversations go, and then we'll be back to farts again in a couple minutes.
No farts. No,
How many ways can you cook corn?
that's a subject.
I was actually thinking about doing a corn casserole for Christmas instead of because I can't find any good corn that comes in a can, and you can't get an ear of corn that's any good now either. Because I like making cream cheese corn.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find any good corn now. The corn I got this last time, it was like the husk on it was tough as could be.
Grace wants to know what everyone's making for Christmas Eve. I'm
Food.
making a big hole in my bed pillow and I'm putting my head there.
Well,
For Christmas Eve, I always make chili.
Bye, Rose. Yeah, chili's good.
Yeah,
Dan's going to make a sandwich.
it's always been
That's a good staple.
a Christmas Eve tradition type thing.
We don't do Christmas Eve really. It's just the normal or whatever.
Well,
Dinner, eat or don't eat. It's Christmas Day that we do that.
we started it probably when we got our first kid. Um, we said one day the kids are all going to grown up and go have their own families and stuff, and said it'd be safer for them to stay home in their homes, and said, well, Christmas Eve we'll just make it a family thing to when they all come over, um, and said, well, what can we fix? And we came up with different things. We tried spaghetti, and we tried lasagna, which I love lasagna, my wife's lasagna, but she said I'm not doing that for a bunch of people, because she would make the kids their own uh, pan of lasagna, and she would make me my own thing of lasagna, and she would make it fresh. Um, and she said, no, we're not doing that. And then we ended up doing chili, which meant I had to cook it. I think that was the plan,
Right.
which I don't mind. I like making chili.
well, the good idea fairy struck while we was all at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and they came up with the idea we're gonna do a low country boil for Christmas this year.
Ooh,
Nice.
So everybody's gonna get a little something, Somebody gets the corn, somebody gets the sausage, the shrimp, and
Oh boy.
that's how
What
we're
time
gonna
can
do
I
it.
be over?
Oh, whatever time you get there, buddy, you can't get there too early or too late. I promise you. There's
Does
always
that,
an
does
extra
that
plate.
mean you're going to have you're going to be doing the shovel in the
My
big
nephew
pot?
said he's gonna do it, so
Oh, okay.
I trust him enough. I've seen him on the grill a few times. I trust him.
Hey, I saw a guy on the tube the other day. He made this deep fryer, and it's about 10 feet long and 5 feet wide, and
Dang.
it's on hinges. And he puts all this chicken and just lowers the whole thing down in that boiling vat. Oh man, good
See,
stuff.
That's what I had for dinner. Fried chicken.
Mm.
We had it's a local restaurant. It's called Maryland's Fried Chicken. Man, they got, as far as a fast food or a quick chicken like that, they probably got some of the best fried chicken that besides cooking it at home. And me and my coworker, we had to go over there and give them an estimate. They wanted to get a price on adding some lines for some new fryers and ovens they're getting. And shoot, they left, man. They hooked us up with a bunch of chicken. I said, "Here you go." That's what I had.
let's see.
Man eating chicken.
Oh, okay. My chat is acting funny. Okay, Dana, I see you now. Haven't gotten her mini kitchen up. Grace, I see the shrimp. We're gonna have an Abilene fry.
There, I seen that thing, and well, it's
Ooh,
219 now, but it was
that's nice.
$79, and I was like, ooh, Black Friday. I was so tempted to get that.
How big is it?
I forget. Let me look at it real quick. Dang, it said somewhere on here. 7 quart. Oh no, 21 quart.
Oh wow.
21 quart capacity, fits up to 8 pint size or 7 quart jars.
What was it? Got a little spout you drain the water out right there?
Yep. Yeah, there you can see it a little bit better. Let me.
Okay, yeah, that puts it into perspective. Huh.
Nice.
That would be. Oh, but I was so tempted to nab that thing. Of course, I've got the old fashioned one that I can always use, but it was tempting because those things are nice. It's controlled boil and all that. Really nice.
Oh, I bet.
Let's see. B says she made grouper sandwiches and homemade sweet potato fries. Nice.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Joe Carroll. I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of things. Me having to run all the time with uh physical therapy and all that stuff,
Yeah.
it's thrown me off. It's hard to get on track with the gaming thing. I can be up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and then put out a bunch of videos, and I have a whole week's full of stuff. The other stuff I got to do in the daytime, and I have to do stuff outside, and it's like it's cold. I don't want to go outside. Cookware. Um, My favorite cookware is the cast iron skillet. The
Yeah,
other stuff,
that's what I use.
I mean, it's nice if you want to make uh, uh, an egg fly around the pan when you swish it and stuff. But I'm half afraid of the stuff that comes off of those nowadays. What the Teflon stuff, and because none of that stuff stays on the pan anymore. Now I do have this one pan. I don't. It's not like a Teflon or anything. It's like an enamel type stuff. Um, the copper thing, I thought that. I don't know. I thought that looked pretty cool, but I don't know. I like the cast iron is real nice. Oh yeah. Did you get the nice heated pan? Yeah. But you see those ones where they don't have any grease in it or anything. They go whoosh. They swirl around in a little circle, and it slides off. Or they'll dump a bunch of cheese and then they'll slide the cheese off.
Ceramics are good too.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. It's like
That's kiln fired to cure that.
yeah. You hated the copper set. Yeah, once you get to where you know how to use a cast iron, it's like anything else is just weird. I mean, you can go straight from the stovetop and stick it in the oven in the same shot. You can make cornbread and all kinds of stuff. You can make dessert in it. You can make your own cake and stuff. Just very versatile.
Oh,
I got a Dutch oven I have to season up. Then I got it. The lid is like brand new, but the bottom it needs some attention.
Might ride out to the flea market tomorrow, look for some yard sales. It's first of the month. Maybe somebody will have a deal or two out.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, the funniest thing I seen on X the other day was video from Harris telling the Democrats to be careful with their limited resources for her, campaigns and stuff. After she went through $1 billion and lost.
I couldn't imagine blowing through $1 billion.
Well, they're criminals. That's easy.
I mean, well, the stuff that they spend money on costs a lot. The stuff I need is pretty cheap. Well, not really that I need it, but the things that I would enjoy would be pretty cheap for the most part.
Yeah, peanut oil is pretty good. That's
what I fry turkeys in.
It's a high burn oil.
It's not cheap either.
Yeah. Sunflower is expensive because of Ukraine thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was wanting to, before it got too cold, which it's too late now, but go out in the woods and cook up some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to use the grill tomorrow.
I don't know if I'm going to grill something or cook something in the crock pot. I don't know.
Oh, so you're afraid that there's peanut oil in there. Usually like to season it, most everybody uses bacon grease or lard. You can vegetable oil, but I don't like using vegetable oil. I would rather if anything, olive oil.
What about the baking up? What do you think about that?
Yeah, bacon's real good to use it. Good
No,
on.
the product that they sell, Bacon Up.
Oh, yeah. I don't have it anymore, but I used. Roll King had it on sale for $1 a tub,
Yeah,
and I bought that stuff. I missed that because it was so good for cooking.
I finally got some, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh
and
man,
it doesn't burn. It's hard to burn it. I'll put it that way. It's
oh
harder to
yeah,
burn it
oh yeah,
'cause
for sure.
unless you screen out your bacon grease with all the little particles, that you always get the little smoke and stuff from it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if I have the video on it or not, but I did do a video. Uh, I found a cast iron skillet for 99 cents at Goodwill.
mm,
It was all rusted, and um, the first thing I did was put salt in the pan and cut a potato in half and scrub the salt into the pan to work out a lot of that grease or rust and stuff. And then I boiled it, and then I wiped it down. At the time, all I had was olive oil. Wiped it down and then seasoned it in the oven.
I've seen a guy bead blast a really rusted cast iron pan. Not heavy but blast, but just
Yeah.
to get the surface, you know,
What is
and
that
then
called? Electrolysis or something? Where they electrify it and then put it in there, and
yeah. Removes
it
all the
get,
impurities.
yeah.
Yep.
Um, Actually, let me see if I can find his channel. Mud something or other. Oops, wrong thing.
You ain't nothing worse than, I don't know, find an old junk pile and go through it, and you just see old pan. It just, there
Yeah,
ain't no way you can salvage it, man. Man, that was a good one.
yeah. When it gets so rusty that it has divots and stuff in it,
right pitted.
yeah, you can
Broke my
you can
heart.
sometimes get away with that, but it's harder. It's harder to fix that. I mean, you can use it for like baking and stuff like that, but if you're, you know, and there's people say, "Oh, don't fry an egg in a cast iron skillet." It's it's kind of like canning. It's your kitchen, your rules.
Right. Well, look at what most of the top chefs use in high dollar restaurants. They all use aluminum
Yeah,
because
or stainless steel.
it cooks quick.
Yeah,
I
they have
can't
to, yeah,
find
deal with that
this.
commercial speed, I guess.
Hmm.
I thought it was mud something, but I guess
I
I'm.
used to love watching Justin Wilson.
Yes.
I, I used to love watching his cooking programs, and he always had a good story to go along with it while he was cooking. That's good, I guarantee.
Who's good too is you ever see
Damn,
Michael
damn.
Simon? Michael Simon, he does cooking out on his deck. I
Is
don't
that
know
the
if it's
grill guy? It's,
he's a tall, goofy guy, funny guy with a bald head. He's always on.
I
Oh,
don't
what do they
know.
call that guy? Not guy.
Top Chef.
No, he's been on that. He's always going after Bobby Flay as one of the co-stars of the. He's a goofball, but man, dude can cook.
I know who you're talking about. He was the they had a talk show that used to come on about cooking. Wasn't he the guy that was on there?
Probably. He's been on a lot of shows.
I can't remember that show's name.
If you want a good, now let me see if I can find it. Hmm. And this guy's blown up since I've first started watching him because I was looking through some of my channels from on my gaming thing that I'm subscribed to, and I'm like, who are some of these people? Because they've changed their names and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, here it is. And everybody's probably heard of this guy. And it's Sam, the cooking guy.
I think so. Sounds
Now
familiar.
I was following this guy when he had under 1,000 people, and I haven't watched any of his videos in a long time, but he used to cook outside a lot, and he had this round little grill thing that he would cook on, and he would make some of the coolest stuff on that thing. But here, let me get, in case anybody wants to check out his channel.
Been watching
I'm
a
sure
lot of the.
he's never going to know who I am anyway. Of course, I didn't go by Bushcraft back then anyway.
Watching a lot of the was it Cooking with Cajun? The guy that always cooks the cornbread with his meals.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ghost pepper bread, huh?
Mm.
I mean, I don't mind jalapenos. I don't like the pickled ones that they like. I don't know. I don't. It's not a good taste. Now, if I was to do it myself, I would probably like it better than the store bought pickled jalapenos.
Yeah,
I remember my dad used to make these little round cherry peppers and pickle those, and they were on the spicy side, but they were really good. A tablespoon of water.
I won't never forget when I was a kid. Me and my mom, and we still joke about it now. Still think about it. Me and her went to Subway, and there was these two guys in front of us, and the guy was looking at the breads, and he told the guy making the sandwiches, let me get a foot long on some of that Japanese bread." And the guy said, "What type of bread?" He said, "Japanese bread, right there on your list right there." And he said, "What do you mean Japanese bread?" He was trying to. He didn't know how to say jalapeno. He thought it said Japanese. He said, "Let me get some of that Japanese bread." Oh, that was funny.
I hear people jalapeno.
Yeah.
What's a
Uh,
jalapeno? The hot pepper. You mean a jalapeno?
yeah.
Oh,
Man, I got some other weekend. I went to the flea market. There's this people that always set up. They have all type of different produce, Hispanic stuff, and I got some jalapenos from them. They look real good. And oh man, it was probably the hottest jalapenos I've ever had. Man, them things lit me up. They were good though.
oh.
Oh, I got a good question. Who's got any turkey left?
No, that was gone the second day.
Right?
Yeah.
Usually we'll have leftovers the next day, and then maybe lunch the next day with the leftovers, and then I'll make something else,
Right.
and then whatever turkey's left over, I'll make turkeys and pasta or something. But there was none of that this year. It was gone.
Uh, Yeah, I was upset when the last little bit was gone, but I was like, man, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, I'll be cleaning out the rest of the stuff in the refrigerator probably tomorrow. I think there's some cranberry relish stuff that I made. It actually turned out good, but instead of when I make it next time, I'm going to use raspberry or strawberry jello instead of cherry. The cherry was too much
Too
cherry.
tart.
Yeah. And I did because, well, I don't mind the tart. In fact, most recipes I seen calls for a cup of sugar. I only put a half a cup of sugar and use sugar-free jello, so it wouldn't be too sweet. Because I made it one year and it was like, woo, really sweet.
That's what I did when the recipe I found for the sweet potato cheesecakes I made for Thanksgiving.
Mm.
I was thinking, man, this is a lot of sugar they're calling, and I cut it back. I cut it back a good little bit, and it still turned out to be a hit. Everybody said they liked them.
And I use coconut sugar. I'm almost out of coconut sugar, which is going to suck because it's too expensive now. It turns everything a little bit darker, but it tastes really good.
I never had it. People say it's good. I mean, I love coconut oil, stuff like that, so I can imagine. Yeah, it is expensive.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier.
Seven
About
hundred and fifty million.
you know,
Wow.
we were talking about the architecture and stuff.
That's the one thing, if nothing else, different parts of the world. That's what I love to travel to see, the architecture.
Yeah, and that's like everybody says they want to go to Japan to visit Tokyo and stuff, and I said, what? I would rather go into the old villages and stuff and see
Oh
these
yeah.
old houses in there, because they, to me, there are some of the best woodworking builders there are. The
Oh,
way
I'd love to
they
visit
made their
Japan.
joints and everything to where they didn't have nails or anything like that.
So simple, but it's so sound.
Yeah, they had to
Well, mortise
pull it
and
apart and carry it to the next area. All their buildings used to be able to tear it down and put it back together without a nail. That's the amazing part. No nuts and bolts or anything like that. And they're some of their cuts and everything are so precise that it's almost impossible to do with our tools nowadays. But I think I'm gonna, I know I've been saying this for a while, but make a video of my tea because I'm almost out of tea again. So I have to make another video of me mixing it all together. Rose hip and hibiscus and blood orange peel, which my blood orange peel is pretty much slices of blood orange. dehydrated.
How long do you let it stand?
Huh?
How long do you let it stand before it's, you use it, or you use it right away?
For the tea, you mean in a cup or?
Yeah, when you've got it in a jar.
Oh, well, you can use it right away because, well, it depends. Because I like the rose hop and stuff. I let dry out on a. I don't put it in a dehydrator.
Right.
I don't like the burnt rose hop. You can taste the uh, from cooking it because that's
Mhm.
all dehydrating is. You're just cooking the moisture out of it. But the same thing with the hibiscus. I just let it dry out. I've got this thing that hangs up. Um, it's layers of different screen, and I'll just toss it in there and just let it set for a couple months. Depends when too. Like now, since I got heat in the house, one bedroom, it's like 70 degrees all the time. And if you put stuff in there to dry, it dries it out pretty quick. Now, the only thing I do dehydrate is the orange, and I instead of just doing the orange peel, I just slice the blood orange up in slices, so you get a little bit more vitamin C, which everything that the rose hop, the hibiscus, and the blood orange is very high in vitamin C. Plus, um, like if I make a tincture with the rose hop or the hibiscus, which both are good for lowering high blood pressure. I probably should shut up now with that stuff. Allegedly,
Right.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know anything.
Universally speaking.
Please do your own research.
Yeah. Say hi. You always look like a crab.
Is that Fuzznuts?
No, this is Brutus.
Brutus. Okay.
He's the big hairy one, or I should say furry.
Me too, Brutus.
Yeah, it's anytime I'm up here, it's like impossible for me not to have a cat on my lap. The rest of them are on my bed sleeping. Now, when the heat's on, if I'm not in the bed, they'll actually go out in the living room and sit on the heater, which I don't see how. They have all that fur and they like sleeping on a heater.
Yeah, I was using a space heater last year, and one day this, what was it, last week? They're filled with oil. I got them from Ollie's. They're like what, $30, 25
Yeah,
bucks, whatever. And when you first initially pull them out of the box, plug them in, and
they
fire
stink.
them, well, no, but you can hear the oil literally boiling inside
Oh,
the,
yeah.
and then it stops, and then it works great for one season. Now this season, right now, it's probably not even putting out half of what it did. So probably the oil level's down so low that, but they're throwaways. That's why they're cheap.
Yeah.
So I gotta wait for another sale.
Yeah, I've seen so much stuff that I would. Oh, $147 for a Taurus G3.
Nice.
I was like, oh,
The compact or the full size?
the compact one, the little bitty thing.
God, where'd you find it at that price?
It was Black Friday, in
Real quick?
yeah,
Oh boy.
online, and I seen so much stuff. I was like, I just deleted the email so I didn't have to look at it anymore.
That gets a good rating,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I've been bombarded with all of those Black Friday sales and Cyber
Yeah.
Monday sales. And you need this. You need that. You left something in your cart.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm like, I did.
it's still waiting here for you. Those guys.
Yeah. Well, give it to me.
And the phone calls, they haven't stopped either. I thought after the election. Now it's just keep getting it, and then it's this one woman.
Marketplace health thing or whatever it is.
Now she keeps telling me I qualify for this $100,000 loan against my house and this and that. We've already got it, and I'm like, lady. So I'll block that number, and of course it's a robocall. It's a recording,
Yeah.
and then they call back on another number and another number and another number.
And I like the ones where, hello, my name is Michael. I'm like, no, your name's not Michael. Why do you have to have an American name?
Right?
I know you're not even over here.
No, you're sitting in Chaputa, India. That's where you are.
Or the come up with the oddest names.
Yeah, just be straightforward.
Sometimes I'll be in the mood just to mess with them, and then most of the time it's block, hang up, block, hang up, block.
Right.
But sometimes, somebody was my internet, and they said we can give you a deal, and they said you have Spectrum TV, and I said, well, don't you know I have Spectrum TV or not? You called me. Oh, well, we have to verify it. Well,
Yeah,
I want to verify that you know if I have Spectrum or not.
right. What's my account number?
Or I'll tell them, do you have? They'll ask me if I have it. I said, no, I don't have. I don't watch TV. Oh, but you use internet. And I said, no, I have a satellite. And then they're like, they don't know what to do from there. They okay, bye. They give up.
Please, sir, if you could just confirm your social security number and birth date, we can move forward, please. I have it here, but could you just verify? Could you tell me what it is, sir?
Yeah, or the electricity. We'll go through the whole spiel about the electricity and stuff. I'm sorry, I have solar. Oh, click.
That's okay. Why I have you on the line? Would you like to talk about your car's extended warranty policy?
Oh, I'm so sick
man, I really get into those ones.
What
kind of car do you have? It has 4 wheels.
I don't have a car. I have a trike.
It's okay. We insure trikes. It's very okay.
Hey there, Lewis. Good to see you.
You have a goat? We can insure goats too. They have 4 legs.
Okay, Mahesh.
My goat only has 3, though. And the insurance didn't cover when he lost it.
That's a tough job, though. Imagine being live, being a telemarketer. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's-
That's like that's honestly one of those jobs that you can't say, well, somebody's got to do it because they really don't have to do it.
no,
You know, can't be like, well, somebody's got to make the donuts.
that's right.
Nobody
That's
literally has to do that job.
or you, the ones I hate is you'll say hello, and they'll say hello, and then you're waiting for them to talk, and they'll say, and you know it's a computer, but
right.
it's
Yeah.
say, are you there? And I said, duh, I just said hello.
Oh yeah, those are the worst. You can't even get mad because you're getting mad at a voice recording. You know,
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's
not
just
a, well, yeah, but how about a live person? Like it's happened many times. If I'm calling about a credit card or a charge that looks
Yeah.
suspicious or whatever, and I'm like, "Are you in the States?" And like, "No." I said, "Where are you? I can't understand you." You know, I mean, I'm not being mean or anything
Yeah.
to them.
yeah.
I mean, I can't.
If you can
I
even get
can't.
anybody at all with all the automated systems they have now.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, I was fuming the other day. Who was I calling?
probably the
Oh,
worst.
the gun thing. Um, NRA. They they started billing me out after I had canceled because I was sick of every 30 calls a month from them saying, "Oh, we
Mhm.
need more money for this and that and the other thing." Not to mention the emails and stuff. And I finally canceled it, but then they started billing me again. I called them up and said, "Well, if you guys decide to start billing me again, um, I am recording this conversation, so my lawyer has proof that I have canceled it and this and that." And they said, "Okay, we'll make sure it's discontinued and you're no longer on our list."
Well, what are they tapping your card, or are they just sending you a bill?
No, they started up the reoccurring. So every year they would take out $44,
Right.
and I
But I
had
remember.
already canceled it, and then found out that I ended up getting the credit back too for that year.
Yeah, I stopped my affiliation with them when Wayne was purchased his third multi-million dollar home, and when it started getting real political and infighting, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm done with this. So my father lucked out though. He joined years ago, $500 lifetime membership, and he hasn't paid a dime since. I don't know what's he been in 30 years. He's been a member, so he gets his free magazine. And,
yeah. Some of the magazines ain't too bad. A lot of ads in them, but
yeah,
that's a magazine.
all the magazines are getting like that. Like the fishing magazines, like
Yeah,
Florida Fisherman, Fishing Game, and uh, hunting, and all that. It's half of it's ads, and the other half is
couple
actual art.
stories here and there.
And they're getting real thin, just like the newspapers. They're just
Yeah, yeah.
Heck yeah. Hawks came back and beat the Lakers in overtime.
Good. I'm getting tired of hearing about LeBron all the time again. It's that time of the year.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. 'Tis the season.
And
Oh,
then you'll hear it again when it comes to playoff time. Oh, he's been in this many playoffs and this and that. And yeah, but let him leave for 2 years and come back and win a championship.
I mean, it's almost impossible these days.
Well, they had him up there for he's so many 3-point shots now. He moved up on the list, and it's like, yeah, but you don't see the other stuff, that the misses, that his percentage compared to the other guys that are on that list. Jordan's not on that list because he
Yeah, I
did
think
3 points, but he carried the team.
I think LeBron is he's either number one now or he's still number two in the most missed shots.
Have you the worst thing is, I probably wouldn't care, all the talk that, he's better than Jordan, this and everything, because everybody knows he's not. It's the flop.
Yeah, oh
rate.
yeah,
That
flopping.
is so irritating that just, you could be the best player and do a flop, and you're not even on a list for me. That's why I never like soccer. Now women's soccer is starting to do it a lot now, unfortunately. But that's why I never watched soccer, because the guy would go like this, and he'd fly 30 feet in the air.
Yeah. Oh,
And basketball is, not to mention, he travels all the time. Do the referees not know what a travel is anymore? He's at half court, and he does 3 steps and runs the rest of the way, or 3 dribbles.
oh yeah.
And I'm like, how do you get that far?
They give him a 5-step handicap. Jordan used to jump from the free throw line or the three
Yeah.
point line.
Yeah. Now there's people can do that, but there's a difference. The way Jordan does it, he defies gravity. It's like a normal person jumps and then they fall back down. It's like he jumps and just floats there for a second or two and goes back down.
He didn't always jump the highest, but yeah, he had that hang time.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And he'll go up he'll jump up the same time as a defender. Defender falls down, he's still up there, and he takes the shot. And it's like, how did he do that?
Air Jordan.
Air Jordan.
Yeah. It's definitely once in a generational talent.
Yeah.
Oh, heck, lifetime, really.
I remember when he got on the Bulls, and I was like, who is this guy? Because I didn't watch college, so I didn't know who he was or it was any good. And the first game, I didn't see much out of him, because at that time we didn't have 30 channels of sports. You just got what was on the news. And if you didn't live in Chicago, you barely got anything about Chicago Bulls or whatever, unless it was something great. And then I think I was watching on a weekend or something and seen him play, and I'm like, ooh. And that's before he got good. That's before the Detroit Pistons made him good. And he'll admit it himself. That's what made him was
That's where he cut his teeth. And
Pistons.
Bad
Yeah,
boy, bad boy Pistons.
yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't no flopping in. If you fell in, that's because they gave you a reason to fall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd get slammed on the floor and look to the referee, and then the referee's like, I didn't see anything. Yeah, nowadays the defense clears the path so you have a clear way to dunk the ball. And
Oh yeah,
I just can't watch it. I mean, I love basketball, but I love 80s and 90s basketball. I can't stand this stuff now. It's just I can't watch it. It's like, where did everybody go? They just let people go in and make baskets, or they'll throw it around and leave one guy just standing there, and then nobody runs up to him or anything, and it's like they stick their hand up, and all the guy does is shoot over top of him. It's like there's no defense in the game no more. It's kind of like what's his name did to tackling the quarterback. The Brady thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can't touch them below the knee. You can't touch them above the knee, and you can't touch them above the neck.
Gotta protect Tom Tom.
Yeah.
You know.
oh, you can't even look at them for too long.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
They give you 5 seconds, and you better look the other way.
I see that Trevor, he really got walloped. That guy got
he's
2 game suspension.
Yeah, he's hurt. He got hurt from that one. You could tell because when he was laying there, his hands tightened up.
So they got to operate on one side, and then they're going to wait for that to heal up, and then they're going to do the original fixing of the other shoulder that he was supposed to have done after the season. But that guy was headhunting that day.
It was a curse this year. Everybody that got the big money contract this year got hurt. Dak got the money, he went down. Trevor got the money, he went down.
San Francisco guy.
Yep, San Francisco guy, he went down.
Oh, that was sad to see that though. Just Snow did it. Nobody around. You could see that twist.
Yep.
Ugh. I could feel it. The running back, I can't remember his name now.
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yep. He just came back.
Yep.
Running backs like that, even good ones, they don't have very long shelf lives in the NFL even now.
No.
I'll tell you who was probably the most durable back I ever saw was Emmitt Smith.
Oh, Emmitt?
Yeah. Smith. I saw him play the Philadelphia Eagles. Dislocated his right shoulder in the first quarter, and he played the whole game. And he had over almost 200 yards. That to me is durability.
Yep. And
Walter Payton was great, but he never really got popped because he was bouncing around. He was like a pinball. Nobody could get a line on him.
Oh, he took some hits.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh,
yeah,
big time, especially on the line. Oh man, he took some. He went flying a few times up in the sky, came down.
Right. But if you go back and look at films, he was more of an edge runner because he was fast. Where Emmitt would just run off tackle or a trap block or through the A gap. I mean, just straight ahead. And
Barry Sanders was the same way. He was afraid to get hit. He even admitted it. He said, "I don't want to get hit." it's me just getting away from everybody. And Emmett Smith wouldn't have had a record if Barry didn't retire.
Yeah, but you could say that about any record. The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
before,
Well,
you know.
Emmett even admits it.
No, I know, but I'm saying
Yeah.
you could say that about any sports record. If you
Yeah.
didn't retire this soon, I wouldn't have beaten you. And, it's kind of.
Yeah. Well, the only one that said that is Emmett. Emmett's the only one that's said that because Barry wouldn't say it.
No, Barry was Barry.
Yeah.
He was faster than Emmett. Yeah.
One guy, Eric Campbell.
Oh, brute.
Yeah.
How about Derrick Henry right
Bus.
now? That dude's a beat. Oh, Jerome Bettis?
Jerome Bettis, yeah.
There's different running backs. There's the ones that just go one direction.
I used to enjoy watching Ricky Williams as a kid. I don't know if y'all remember him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He, I think he had a lot of talent, but he had a lot of personal issues and stuff. But he got going, man. It was hard to stop him. What was it? Marshall Falk.
Oh,
Y'all remember him? Greatest show on turf.
Beast mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marshawn Lynch. You can't forget about him.
Yeah.
He said, I remember he did one of those sit-down interviews with Peyton or something, and he said, what was one of your routines before the game? And he said, I'd have me a shot. I'd have me a shot. And he said, cortisone? What type of shot? He said, no, man, a shot of Hennessy. I'd have me a shot of Hennessy, and I'd have a bag of Skittles. He had like the weirdest, like unhealthy, like habits, but he was just beast mode.
Yeah. There was this show, reality show that act like he was up in Mars and he had to go out and do things and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody that after the show and they did interviews and stuff said it was the whole time they was cracking up laughing being around him. He's just hilarious.
He does a lot for the community. He's given a lot of money back.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know if you remember, it was the thing for the longest. Whenever he'd do an interview or commercial, he wouldn't ever say much. It was like you couldn't get him. You couldn't pay him to say a word. He didn't talk.
He would get fined so much for not doing interviews.
Now he's just everywhere you see him. Yeah, he's just cutting up. Just living life.
Well, the reason why is because when you would talk to, they would change. They'd edit things and say and make it sound like he was saying bad about a team or doing this or doing that. And he said, I just ain't talking to you guys anymore.
Yep. No. Running back from the Falcons, Warwick Dunn. I don't know if y'all remember him, but
he started with the Bucks.
Yeah. I got to meet him one time a couple years ago. I guess one of his things he does now is real estate and property. And he helped do some type of project he does where he like builds homes and stuff. He did some here in Augusta. That's pretty cool.
He did a lot of that too, down here in Tampa for not just for his mother. He had a great love for his mother. I don't know what his situation was, but she was, the backbone of the family.
Oh, yeah.
And, he raised a lot of, not just raised money, but donated a lot of money for building homes for single mothers that were, in need. I think he continues to do it too today, but
some people never forget where they come from.
That's what irritates me when people saying, "Oh, the NFL's this and that," and I said, "There's so much good that those that some players, I'm not saying all the players in the NFL are wonderful people. There are some really good players that do so much for their communities or where they grew up and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It's just because, it's a corporation and everything, there's the players. It's not fair to the players that you protest or whatever. And that can be said for anything.
Oh yeah.
Now, if it was one person, yeah, you protest or you stop watching because of that one person. But when there's thousands of people that are working and there's good being done by that, you can't discredit the whole thing. And if you've ever played football, even little league football or pee-wee football or whatever they call it nowadays, or high school or higher up than that, then it's you watch it because you've played it. It's just that thing.
Army's beating Tulane. So they're beating them 28-7. Right now, they're playing for the AAC Conference Championship.
All I heard today was about the Lions.
Oh,
that was a good game last night.
That team gets so lucky. I'm telling you. I'm
Shoot.
sorry.
I'm
sorry.
They found a way to win. They had the most players, I think, on the injury report, and still keep finding ways to win.
Yeah, I don't see how they did. They held them off that much. I mean, it was still 30-31, but still, they are, I mean, beyond practice squad up there playing defense.
Yeah.
How they're keeping from not the other team from scoring so much, I have no idea.
Got the city on their back. The city's behind them.
I hate to say it, but I don't think they can win it. But they're still, I mean, they're number one.
Oh yeah, they with that win last night, they clinched the playoff spot already. Now I don't see them, and I don't see any. They'll win the division for sure.
Well, they've beat Green Bay twice now.
Yeah, so, they clinched the series on that one. I don't see any team, honestly, really from the NFC that could beat them. I mean, I see the Lions making it all the way to the Super Bowl, to be honest. I mean, who's going to beat them in the NFC?
Well, they beat they beat Minnesota and Chicago, so.
And Cowboys ain't going to beat them.
Cowboys couldn't beat a Pop Warner team. What are you
the 49ers, they done fell apart, I think probably the only team that could probably give the Lions a run in the NFC as far as the playoffs, and not even the Falcons because they're folding like a cheap suitcase, it would probably be the Redskins.
I was going to say Eagles.
Well, I'll say
the Bucks. Or the Bucks.
It depends. I don't know. And it's like Kansas City is almost identical to the Lions. They've squeaked by so many times, but
they got lucky on a lot of times.
It's going to be Kansas City and the Lions, but I'm not holding my breath. I would love to. I mean, I've been following Lions for ages, so it's like the Cubs. I was like, I never thought that the Cubs would win a World Series because, well, it was so long.
Especially they're playing on practice squad guys. Once some of the starters start coming back, oh man,
Yeah, hopefully.
yeah, hopefully at the right time that could be good.
Yeah, and one of the best defensive players went out at the first part of the season.
Yep.
And right there, I thought it was pretty much over because we already had like 4 people, and that was a lot back then.
I think that coach has got a big part. It was Dan Campbell.
Oh,
He seems like he's a good coach.
Yeah. He reminds me of a Hulk Hogan, and
yeah, he looks like an action guy, action star.
Because
players believe in him.
Come on, brother.
Yeah.
He does that all the time. And what was it? The Hard Knocks thing they had up there imitating. Who is this? Everybody got it right off the bat. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. It's over 2 hours, almost 3. Oh, so who knows if 101 will go live? So
I say Sunday probably.
Probably. I don't do Sundays, so he'll probably be live Sunday, unless he stays up over 11. At 11, then I usually done with Bible study, and then one cool thing I've been doing for to pass some time too, college class of all things, but it's let me find it here. Where is it? I get so many emails. Is this it? No. Hey, where'd they go?
Thinking about signing up for Le Cordon Bleu.
No, it's not that.
Man, I'm hungry now. Wow.
Dude, I ate like a whole fried chicken.
Oh,
Yeah, but how long ago?
it's Hilldale
Me?
College.
Yeah.
Right before Bush went live.
Oh, well, you're probably hungry now too.
Well, it's cheesecake time now, my friend.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
And
right.
the first course I took is the David story.
Oh.
Shepherd, Father, and King. Pretty good, and I got on my first quiz. I got 90%, so I only missed one. So that wasn't too bad. It's supposed to get harder at the end when I finish it, but they have, and it's free, so you just watch a video and then take a test at the end of each chapter or study. I think this one is like 6 hours, something like that. But it's pretty cool. I learned a lot off of just the first 20-minute thing. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys all later. I'll be back Monday and get ready for the Christmas drawing thing. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do it Monday or next Friday. It'll probably be next Friday. I'm not sure. But we'll catch you guys later. Everybody have a wonderful night and stay safe and warm.
Good night,
Yep.
everybody.
Good night.